Welcome back. How does it happen? You're watching a loss or not giving a toss. Ready to burst? That umpire's the worst. A hard-earned rage needs a long, cold rant. And the best rant is ours, right now, in the Footyology Rant-Off.
We're not on.
Sorry, you were saying?
It was like the VB ad.
It was. John Mellion.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I think I'm first now.
You are. You're first up this week. I'm going to count you in properly like you never do for me. 3.
No, that's wrong. You start at 30.
Do you want me to count him from 30?
No,
that's
not
great
really.
TV. 3, 2, 1, rant!
The reason I wanted you to count from 30 is I want to talk about the shot clock. The shot clock fiasco at Etihad Stadium was really not that much of a fiasco. It was better. The shot clock was better than the shit clock, which of course was the last clock used on the scoreboard at Waverley. The neglect and the lack of light bulbs made it undecipherable. Don't worry about the shot clock on the scoreboard at Etihad. Worry about this. We've been told that the shot clock will appear at some grounds, but not all grounds. Did I not rant last week about the lack of consistency with the administration of the goal review system? And now we have an ad hoc shot clock. Am I knocking my head against a paper wall? I moved that, and that's a paper wall. Look, it's unacceptable, AFL. It's at every ground or no ground. Why don't you make it policy? Let's have some grounds with boundary markings, some not. Some grounds with car parks, some not. Some grounds with goalposts, some not. How about some grounds without any AFL administrators? It's not acceptable. Consistency, people. We're consistent. We do the rant last on the program every week. People know what to expect. What new surprises from the AFL next week? I don't even wish to venture a thought as to what we will have at some grounds and not others in the AFL. Watch this space.
Very good. That's the angriest I've seen you so far.
Well, I moved the screen. That didn't work.
You wanted your head to go through it, didn't you?
I mean, paper, I can see why the...
Isn't that where our clairvoyant was from last week, or the masseuse?
I don't know. The only time I've seen screens like that were people that come out from screens like that, I like.
No, we're not going there. Okay, count me in, please.
3, 2, 1.
Umpires. They're the scourge of football if you listen to the hordes after Saturday night's Bulldogs-Adelaide game. They're the single biggest cause of anxiety, depression and Australia's current account deficit. One of them might even have been hiding out on that grassy knoll in Dallas in 1963. Forget in the back, holding the ball, umpiring is apparently now a mathematical equation. And this was a massive conspiracy. Well, it was if you ask Adelaide's official ambassador, Chris Kennedy. You know, that blowhard is always banging on about lefties and ABC bias, and whose TV show is watched by 2 men and a dog. Oh, it's okay, Chris, not that dog. Now Kenny reckons Crows fans should boycott games against Victorian teams. Kenny's such a bell end, he makes the Crows' other ambassador, Christopher Pyne, look like a ripping bloke. But the biggest outrage in this whole latest umpiring kerfuffle is the shock revelation that Troy Pennell on Saturday night gave Jake Stringer a tap on the bum as he ran past. Well, bugger me with a fish fork if that doesn't prove the whole thing is a setup. Seriously, where were these people in the 1980s? That umpire Peter Cameron was so friendly with the players, he didn't just give them a pat on the arse, he'd have his tongue halfway down their throats. You know that famous scene out of Last Tango in Paris? That wasn't really Marlon Brando and Maria Schneider getting it on. It was Peter Cameron and Dipper during that all-in brawl in the 1985 grand final. Look, umpires are human. Okay, so they look a bit pasty and collect stamps, but they're not part of some organised crime syndicate. And if they can piss the likes of Chris Kenny off, I say they're good for football. Good boys standing up for us umpires. Yeah.
I've got a cough again. Pardon me.
That went very well. As a few people coughing at home, I think, after that.
No, that was excellent. I mean, honestly, it's not a numbers game, and a touch on the arse is not a bad thing. It's not terrible.
No, we're all going to give each other one as soon as we finish this show. That's it for this week.
Not all.
Not all. No, not you. I know.
We want to vote, don't we?
Oh, yeah, how are we voting? Quick.
Very simple this week. Look, the voting system didn't work last week. We used a clairvoyant to try and read the minds of our viewers, and she got her wires crossed, and we got no votes. We got a lot of bloody advice, but no votes. This week, we thought we'd make it more global so it could be seen from outer space. Crop circles are easy to do, and so are crop Ro-Cos and Fineys. You need a large property. The Kidmans would be good. They're not selling to the Chinese. The government said no. Find a lot of wheat. You rake in the names, Ro-Co and Finey. Make it big, because the Mir station is on board. The Soviets are in, and hopefully we'll get the Americans, and apparently the Indians send up a satellite as well, and they'll look for it too. So I think we're going to get plenty of votes.
This one better work, or I'm taking over the voting. Thanks for joining us again at Footyology. Hope you've had fun. We're on every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on YouTube or 7:30 p.m. on Channel 31. And remember, Finey, as Bob Dylan asked so memorably, how many roads must a man walk down before you call him a man? How many seas must a white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand? The answer, my friend, is easy to see. The answer is Footyology. See you next week.